look at some of these should be taken. So I don't know if we could hold off on paying some of those bills, or if we should just pay them and then fine tooth them a little bit more. I'm concerned about not so much this round, but there were a couple. So I think that we're paying a lot of duplicate efforts.
And I don't know, if there's somebody that is on the telephone, if you're not participating, if you could please put yourself on mute, because we're getting a little feedback from somebody online. Oh yeah. I would suggest probably making payment and then coming back. That way we don't delay, because I do believe that there's probably the potential that some of the checks have already been drafted instead of going back.
We could discuss it later days.
Duly noted. I think that you and I could probably have those conversations in the somewhat near future and get some points of clarification.
Yes.
Any further discussion about payment of the bills? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Clerk Palovich, yes. Treasurer Ellery Summers?
Yes.
Trustee Kroll?
Yes.
Trustee Dunkel?
Yes.
Trustee Foley?
Yes.
Trustee Lappin?
Yes.
Supervisor Skibby?
Yes. Moving forward to the minutes of July 14th of 2020. Is there any additions, corrections to the minutes presented, or is there a motion to approve the?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of July 14th, 2020. Is there support? Okay. Any discussion about the minutes of July 14th, 2020? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Moving forward to the correspondence. Several items of correspondence. Do we have a motion to receive and file the correspondence as presented? We have a motion to receive and file. Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of receiving and filing the correspondence as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed. This leads us to our first item of business, which is under old business, and that is the F&B contract. Today we have before us Blair Sellover and Catherine Nguyen. At this point in time, if you have anything to present to the board, I mean, we've had, for the board's point of view, we've gone through, which will be the following item of business, an understanding of the labor union in-house of FOPLC, but from either of you, if you'd like to address the board, Blair.
I don't have a lot unless you have some questions on what's been going on. We did receive applications from the staff that you had there. We interviewed them today. Trying to get letters out in the next day or two. Having their successful passing of drug screening.
Okay.
That's the biggest hurdle.
And
should they come to pass, we've got others that can backfill.
Okay.
Be jacked up, so. That's where we are. I don't know if you guys have any questions or concerns about what we're doing and where we're headed or that.
I guess one point of clarification so that the board is aware that if this is to be moved forward as a signed contract date of today, I believe the official date of would be the 17th of this month. So.
Is that Monday?
Yep.
Yeah, it is a Monday.
Would you mind just explaining a little bit what your plan is moving forward and
As far as the staff or as far as?
just as our operation?
I guess the first thing I want to do is Cat's done a pretty good job. It has a pretty good handle on assessing the system, but we would like to get a maintenance program of sorts in place. So we can get a work order system, have some accountability as to what's going on. Hydrant flushing valves, lift station maintenance, all those kinds of checks need to be gone through and put under our system so that we can control it and watch them. think that would be good for your system overall. Help us see things coming before it's a fire or an emergency, like, oh, I only got on one pump on the lift station, and that's running at 50%. And the day it backs up is when we find it, boom, put you in that position. So more expensive maintenance and more expensive on there. As another Cass can probably address the day-to-day stuff clearer than I can in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, as Blair mentioned, we're going to be doing an interview process today. The first thing is to get staff in place. We also will be still including Doug Mullen and Eric Stein, who are been supportive as far as especially the lift station assessments and excavation oversight. I will be doing mostly day-to-day operation and staff direction, working toward those computerized maintenance management systems, implementing, staff scheduling, working with the township to coordinate the needs of things with the utility billing office in regard to customer service calls, meter reading, the meter replacement program that's going to be starting, and those type of items. So a lot of what will be happening is as we move forward with the maintenance allowance that's in the contract, we'll be working with the township on planned projects, some of which were already identified in your capital plan, some of which may be things that come out of these lift station assessments. As mentioned at the previous board meeting, if items are capital in nature, greater than $5,000 in cost, we'll be bringing quotes to you in order to make sure that that's an approved expense under your purchasing policy. I know there was some discussion in regard to Mr. Skibby's purchasing authority for the water and sewer system and what that would look like as far as if we need to coordinate things on an emergency basis in the event there's a failure. So there'll be someone here, from at this point, it would be all F&B staff on a day-to-day basis. Right now, the schedule is 8 till 5. We may be modifying that schedule depending on what the needs are of the system to work better with contractors and still provide enough support for customer service calls. So there are some changes that will be coming, but other things that will be happening, IT related, communication related, making sure that telephone coverage is sustained and numbers are changed and on-call schedules, etc.
Communication will be the first, the IT portion will be the first thing, because that's our life. Yes, sir.
So did I hear correctly that there will be somebody from your organization here every day?
Yes.
I see.
Yes. And as the staff will become our, staff, then they will of course become part of our organization as well, but there will be a management person on site, either myself or Doug or Eric, 5 days a week, barring any, problems with scheduling. Obviously, we still have to take vacations and things like that, so we would be coordinating with them. But eventually, we have the ability to backfill and provide a lot of support. We do have quite a pool of operations specialists, other people who have specialties in excavation, oversight, and water and sewer, and are certified operators.
So if somebody can walk in the front door and has a water or sewer issue, they can come back and speak to somebody that's going to be here.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah. Under general circumstances. The board through how much bedrock was that, Mr. Skinny?
A little bit.
200 yards, that may be a little question altogether. So.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we remotely monitoring our master meters?
We are not remotely monitoring the master meters. They are being read by staff physically on a routine basis now. That is something that could happen. One of the improvements that will be happening in short order is implementing communication with the stations, and that could be expanded to include other appurtenances out in the system. I know at this time the water towers and the booster station are monitored through the water plant for the city, but we could definitely add other monitoring that would come report directly to the township and our staff.
I'm just thinking that, that's the linchpin in the negotiations, having accurate numbers.
Yeah, well, and I think that's why this board made the decision just fairly recently to make that expenditure of changing those master meters out so that they have the capabilities of reading both ways of flow. So thus far, we've made a significant amount of improvements, and it's going to be a long, arduous road, because I think that unfortunately we've had a plethora of years strung together where if it's underground, it's not an issue. So.
And with the reading remotely too can help identify leaks and things like that. If you have a water main break and all of a sudden, set the line at 400 gallons and it jumps to 8, bring the phone. At least we know to start looking.
Remote sensing.
Any other question, Mr. Foley?
Yes, I have a question for Mr. Tim in reference to this document. Everybody is comfortable with what's in here, how it's said, all the T's and da-da-da-da-da.
Yes, it was really a thorough process. Norman started during the shutdown. So Steve and Nathan and I, along with the other lead folks, a lot of, and also Gary Johnson, his outfit for engineers. I don't know over what period of weeks, but it was, Nathan was going to drive in that, just let's not let this slip. So we kept the momentum up, and Steve really was helpful with the insurance issues. And I was looking at liability, indemnification, that type of thing. The other folks were very helpful and cooperative. So I was really pleased with the whole process, and I think we have a good document.
Had a lot of meetings from our living rooms.
Trustee Steve, are you comfortable with all this too?
Yes, yeah, there were a few areas that we talked about. And I'm trying to remember the purchasing aspect of things, because, we talked about that 5% overage. But there was for some reason, 100,000 sticking in my head, and I don't know why. There was a point in which the option fell upon Supervisor Skibby to make those purchases to avoid that 5%, particularly if it was large ticket items. Do you remember how that?
We did discuss that. That was because of the admin fees that were in discussion, the 3% and the 5%, and at which point in time would it be advantageous to work with you but not have that additional fee depending on the size of the project? Right. And it was pretty much the conclusion of that discussion point that it would really just completely fall on a case-by-case scenario.
And I find that because
yeah.
There's nothing in the conversations that we've had negotiating this that I felt as that was going to.
And that maintenance portion, it's too long, so.